Welcome to this explainer. Today we aren't just doing some standard biology review. We're going to take a fascinating tour of our body's ultimate biological machinery. So let's dive right into the incredible journey of a single breath and explore the vast delivery network that keeps us alive every single second.
But before we even get inside the body, I've got kind of a surprising question for you. If living things absolutely need oxygen to survive, why isn't the invisible air all around us mostly made of it? It's a really fascinating paradox, right? And it completely challenges our basic assumptions about the very air we breathe.
Section 1. The air we breathe.
So take a look at this. While oxygen is absolutely essential for our survival, nitrogen actually dominates our atmosphere. Oxygen is just the second largest component. And carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases, they make up just a tiny little sliver. Honestly, our body's ability to extract exactly what it needs from this heavy nitrogen mix without getting overwhelmed is an absolute masterpiece of biological engineering.
Now, what actually happens during that extraction? Well, this fundamental exchange happens with every single breath you take. The air we inhale contains more oxygen and less carbon dioxide and water vapor. But the air we exhale, it's exactly the reverse. It has less oxygen and way more carbon dioxide and water vapor. Essentially, our bodies act like a highly efficient engine. We keep the oxygen fuel we need to run and immediately exhaust the carbon dioxide waste.
Section 2. The human respiratory system. Okay, so here's the literal path of a breath. It all starts at the nose. Those tiny little hairs in there? They actually act as our primary biological filter, trapping dirt and dust so the air entering our body is nice and clean. From there, the filtered air travels down the windpipe, which eventually splits into two air tubes, delivering the payload directly into the lungs.
And once that air finally reaches the lungs, it enters these incredibly tiny, microscopic air sacs, which are completely wrapped in a complex web of blood vessels. The really crucial point here is the massive number of these sacs. Because there are just so many of them packed in there, they create a gigantic surface area. This makes the exchange of oxygen into the blood and carbon dioxide out of the blood incredibly fast and super efficient.
But our need for oxygen isn't always constant. Just compare a sleeping baby to an intensely active water polo player. Who do you think has the higher breathing rate? Well, clearly it's the athlete splashing around in the pool. Our breathing rate, which is just the number of times we breathe in 1 minute, is dynamically driven by our age and the intensity of our physical activity. Basically, the harder the biological engine works, the more fuel it demands.
Section 3. The body's delivery network. Getting the oxygen into the lungs is really only half the battle. How does it get out of those tiny air sacs and actually reach your toes, your brain, and your muscles? The answer is the circulatory system. This is an incredible internal highway system made up of the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood itself. It's basically the ultimate logistics network. It transports vital supplies like digested food, water, and that precious oxygen, while simultaneously hauling waste materials away from all your body parts so we stay nourished and clean.
And right at the very center of this network is the heart. It's a muscular organ, roughly the size of your fist, nestled right between your lungs in your chest. Think of it as our relentless internal pump. It works by relaxing and contracting continuously, day and night. And as it does, it gives us that familiar, reassuring lub-dub sound with every single beat.
Section 4. The heart-lung connection. So why do both our heart rate and breathing rate spike when we exercise? Well, when you start running or swimming, your active muscles suddenly demand a massive spike in oxygen. So the respiratory system steps up. Your lungs breathe faster to pull in more air. But here's the thing. That oxygen is completely useless if it just sits in the lungs. Therefore, the heart has to pump quicker, increasing your heart rate to deliver that freshly oxygenated blood straight to the muscles that are begging for it. And the routes that this blood travels on? Those are the blood vessels. They are quite literally the physical roads of our internal highway. Arteries are the main highways that generally transport oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. Veins are the return routes, bringing the oxygen-depleted, waste-carrying blood back. And capillaries? They're the tiny, intricate side streets where the actual localized delivery of oxygen to the cells takes place.
Section 5. Breathing beyond humans.
Now, humans obviously have an amazing setup, but the rest of nature handles this exact same biological challenge of gas exchange in some really fascinating ways. Take a look at the intricate, feathery structure of fish gills. Fish obviously don't have lungs. They take in oxygen that's already dissolved in the water. They draw water in through their mouths, and it passes right over these structures called gill filaments.
What's so amazing is how their high surface area allows the fish to flawlessly extract dissolved oxygen straight into their blood while swimming, and then they release carbon dioxide right back into the water under their gill covers.
And hey, it's not just animals. Plants breathe too. Check out this microscopic view of stomata. These are tiny little openings found right on the leaves of plants. During the day, when there's plenty of sunlight, these tiny stomata open up wide. This allows the plant to take in carbon dioxide from the air to make food during photosynthesis, and then release oxygen back into our atmosphere.
But nature is incredibly smart. Plant stomata actually close up when there's less light or when the weather gets a bit too hot. You see, when stomata are open, water vapor can easily escape. By closing their microscopic breathing pores on a scorching hot day, plants execute this brilliant evolutionary adaptation. It prevents precious water from evaporating, which is exactly what allows them to survive the intense heat.
Section 6. The delicate balance.
I'll leave you with a final thought here. We've seen just how vital this internal highway system is for delivering oxygen and nutrients to every single cell in your body. So, if blocked blood vessels disrupt this relentless internal pump, why exactly does a diet rich in saturated fats and cholesterol act like a massive traffic jam for our biology? Understanding the mechanics of our breathing and circulation is really just the first step. Learning how our daily habits physically alter these microscopic highways, that's the next great journey. Keep those internal roads clear. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.